Hi everyone, I am Edu Paudel. I am the tutor at Internship Tutorial Service. This tutorial clip is about angle between two vectors. Suppose OA is a vector and OB is another vector. We can name these vectors in another way as well. Suppose OA vector is represented by vector A. We use small letter and small arrow above it. Similarly, let's suppose the vector OB be vector B, and the angle between those two vectors is theta. Then our objective here is to find that angle theta. We have already discussed that scalar product of two vectors A and B is equal to modulus of vector A times modulus of vector B times cos theta. From this, if we need to calculate the angle theta, we can change the order. So if we separate this, if we make this cos theta alone, this means A dot B divided by mod A times mod B equals cos theta. This implies that cos theta equals A dot B divided by mod A times mod B. This implies that theta equals cos inverse A dot B divided by mod A dot mod B. So if we need to find out the angle between two vectors when the vectors are already given, we can use this formula. Based on this formula, we can derive the conditions for these two vectors to be perpendicular to each other and parallel to each other. Suppose the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. If vector A is perpendicular to vector B, this vector is perpendicular to this, or this is perpendicular to that, then the angle between them will be 90 degree. Then theta equals 90 degree. So cos 90 degree equals A dot B divided by mod A times mod B. This comes from here. Cos theta equals this. Cos 90 degrees value is 0 equals A dot B divided by mod A times mod B. This means when we cross multiply, we get A dot B equals 0. So this is the condition in order to be these two vectors perpendicular to each other. It means if the product of two vectors is equal to 0, Here product means we consider scalar product. If the scalar product of two vectors is 0, then the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Similarly, if vector A parallel to vector B, if two vectors are parallel, then the theta equals 0 degree, because when two vectors are parallel to each other, they don't make any angle. In order to make angle, they should intersect each other. If they are parallel, the angle between them is 0 degree. It means there is no angle. Then cos 0 degree equals A dot B divided by mod A times mod B. This means cos 0 degrees value is 1 equals A vector A dot vector B divided by modulus of vector A times modulus of vector B. This implies that when we cross multiply to each other, we get A dot B, that is vector A dot vector B, equals modulus of vector A times modulus of vector B. This is the condition required for the vectors A and B in order to be parallel to each other. So, to conclude, if the scalar product of two vectors is 0, the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. While if the scalar product of two vectors is equal to the product of magnitude of those vectors, then those vectors are parallel to each other. So we need to remember these two conditions. Sometimes question may be related to these conditions as well.